Welcome to this short session on how to use Practice IQ. Just three main points for the agenda. The first thing we're going to look at is the main area of accessing Practice IQ data, and that's through the intranet site. So we'll go over the different navigation options and how to access the different formats. Secondly, we'll get into some specifics around reporting services and how that works with Practice IQ information. And finally, we'll look at some ad hoc reporting and being able to access directly through Excel the PIQ solution. Some learning outcomes we're after here are, first of all, to understand how to access and navigate around the PIQ site, understand the different options available to you through reporting services, how to connect directly to the data and work with PIQ information in an ad hoc basis, and finally, with all this information, know how to best use PIQ to fit your requirements. So without any further delay, let's get on with the demo. In this demo, I'm not going to go over the content of the different dashboards. There will be a separate session for that. What I am going to do is just go over the function of accessing the reports and actually how to use them, not the data that's actually being shown. So to access the PIQ Intranet site, it's just a matter of typing in the URL or address of the site into a browser. Obviously these can be set up as shortcuts and favorites as well. In terms of navigation, it's pretty straightforward. There's three levels. We've got the top level here, let's say for example clicking on dashboards. If you click on the firm option here and then choose the report itself, it'll bring up a report. Other things that are available on the intranet site are user statistics. So you can click on a name that you logged in as there, and it'll bring up lists of most requested reports and the last requested reports. Every single page within the intranet site can be set up as a favorite, and so you can go directly to that. And this is a good one to apply this to. So in the browser, you can just go add to favorites, and we'll call it PIQ links. So the next time you come in, go to the favorites, PIQ links, and you can go from there. So you've got easy access to the most commonly used reports and formats. You noticed I clicked on the logo there. Clicking on this will just refresh the site and bring you back to the starting point. We do have a help option. If you click on this, we've got 4 documents added in here. There may be more going forward with PIQ, but for now you've got a user guide, administrator guide, data dictionary, and some information about the dashboards and where they drill through and what options you have available to you. These are all just PDFs, so clicking on these, user guide here allows you to open up the PDF where you can scroll through, print out, or do what you like. So it's always good to remember that that's available. The data dictionary is also a very useful resource. It's got absolutely everything that's available through the PIQ solution, and is especially useful when dealing with the Excel and ad hoc analysis, which we're going to cover shortly. So back to the intranet site and the formats that are offered through here. So I'm going to use this firm dashboard as a starting point. You notice there I chose a different period. On all the dashboards, or pretty much all the dashboards, you will have a series of parameters ranging from a single period option through to lots of options around slicing and dicing the data across the different attributes in the practice management system. Once you've made a selection on the parameter, you have to click the View button to render the new information. This toolbar here can be collapsed as well, so you can simply click the little arrow button in the middle and expand and collapse to give yourself more real estate. Now onto the dashboard itself. What we've tried to do is combine a series of options to render the information as best as possible at a high level in the dashboard format. These consist of charts and visual cues and quite often a traffic light system. In this example we've got all of it. So with regard to the traffic light system, red, amber and green, out of the box we have a 20% threshold, or it works on a 20% threshold of benchmark. Now the benchmarks out of the box are the same figures but at the same time in the previous year. It is possible to swap out benchmarks with things like fee budgets or fee owner budgets and so on, but that is a configuration. So the 20% threshold works. It will be amber if it is within 20% of your benchmark, red if you are over or under, depending on the KPI, and green if you're better. The charts themselves, what we try to do with the charts on these is to show a history. So it gives you a 12-month rolling history of the KPIs in question. And other charts there, we've got, in this case, going through to tax and matter and workflow information. Depending on the chart format, we'll use different formats depending on the different data sets available to us. You'll notice as I've been hovering over various things, you have what we call tooltips. It's very important to investigate and hover over the different items of the dashboard themselves, because it will give you additional information based on the KPI that we're dealing with here. It also, the tooltips, where possible, it'll give you instructions on drill through capabilities. So if it says click here, it means you can, and it allows you to drill through to a different report. So what we're trying to do is start at a very high level, but then give instant access to the lower levels or summary information based on the KPI that is clicked, and then the ability to go down further into transactional information. On these summary reports, these are built for printing, and also you can take them to Excel. This is done from the little save button at the top here. First of all, printing. The easiest way to do that is either hitting the print button there, or you can choose a PDF option. It'll open up and you have your PDF that can be printed and so on. You can also take this report to Excel to continue working on it, or use it as a data source to build various other things in an Excel workbook. We choose Excel there, we choose Open. Enable the workbook, and then you can just use that as a data source. You can create pivots from it and do whatever you like. You do have on these summary reports these little arrows in your fields at the top here, which allow you to sort by each column. And as I stated before, where there's a plus button there, or this second level here, you can drill through again to see, in this case, transactional detail or the timesheets associated with the utilization information. Using the browser, it's a straightforward process of the back and forward buttons to take you back up to the top. So that's the PIQ Intranet site, how to navigate it, some of the user statistics you've got, some of the options around drill through, tooltips, and just generally navigating around what's available through the IQ solution. Now let's take a look at the ad hoc reporting in Excel. Once in Excel, it's very easy and quick to access the underlying IQ data structures. With Excel, you'll be accessing the analysis services and cube databases, which are purpose-built for ad hoc analysis and are very, very good for slicing and dicing the data that's available to you. In order to connect to an underlying data source, you first of all need to know the server or the SQL server that is associated with it and what you want to connect to. Once you have that information, you simply choose a cell on a workbook. You go to the Data tab, go from the From Other Sources option and choose Analysis Services. You type in the server name and go Next. This will then offer up a series of databases and cubes to connect to. The data dictionary will explain exactly what's in each one of these sources to allow you to make a decision on which way you want to go. In this case, I'm just going to choose a utilization cube, get that sort of data, go Next, and Finish. You then get to choice whether to add it to the first cell in the workbook or somewhere else, and you have various options around the different types of formats of information you want to show. I'm going to stick with a basic pivot table here. Click OK. This has now made a connection to the underlying data source, and you can then build whatever you want from what's available in the underlying cube. It is just a matter of going through the different measures and calculations. These are the facts and figures that are available, and the different drill paths, or what we call hierarchies, that are available. And then you can start building up a different your report using these. An example here would be maybe billable hours into the values. You can see it's added into the table there. And in terms of filters and hierarchies, I'll choose a staff, drag that onto the rows. You can see they were building that up. And in terms of the top level filter, I'm keen on dates, so I will have a timesheet periods there. If we hit the downward arrow there, in terms of the filter, we can choose the data. Okay, so that's how you build up a connection in Excel to the PIQ data, how you drag and drop what you need onto the report, and how you're then able to filter it. Once you've built this report, you just save this as a workbook, and when you open it up, you can right click and refresh the data. We'll bring in all the most up-to-date information from the PIQ solution. There is an alternative to that. You can, in the pivot table options and the data set here, automatically refresh on opening. It's up to you. We do, with Practice IQ 10, provide a series of templates that have starting points for you that point to all the underlying data sources or cubes that are available to you across the different data sets. These range from our core offering of utilization, lockup information, revenue, branching out to a summarized option of the perspective layer that combines everything. And we have specifics around workflow, tax, and CRM also available. Each one of these tabs represents a different data set. And the last one, we've got a few instructions just going through the different options that I've just run through there around connecting, and also the ability to change a connection if need be. Okay. So you can see there, it's very simple to connect to the data and create your own world in terms of your reporting requirements. Now let's just nip back to the presentation and we'll finish off. All that's left for me to say is thank you for watching this session. I hope you found it informative, and if you'd like any further information on this session or any others, or anything else to do with the Reckon Training Academy, please just use the details on the screen now. Thank you.